Breaking news. JLR investigates. Come on in, come on in. We are going to bring public awareness to this case that's not getting much media attention. Stefanie Damron. This is Stefanie Damron. And she went missing September 24th, 2024 in northern Maine. And she was reported missing by her family, her parents. And there has been a new update in this case. Now, Magnolia has brought this case to my attention a few weeks ago, but we didn't have a lot of information about this case. But the FBI and the Maine State Police have just given out a update, and they're offering a $15,000 reward for information about her disappearance, Stefani. So let's talk about this case because, folks, I've also titled this video, Shady Parents. We could possibly have a Don and Candace Wells type situation right before our eyes, folks. The parents, according to volunteers and people up there in northern Maine that have been searching for Stefani, grid searches and searches, the parents are not participating with the search for their own daughter. On top of that, the parents have quite a history from another state, particularly Texas, and had CPS type of issues in the past. So what in the world is going on here? Going to play the press conference to bring public awareness to the press conference. We're going to get some information. I'm going to show you some maps. She literally lives in the middle of nowhere, nothing but woods. And her family's saying that she just walked into the woods on September 24th. Just walked in the woods. And she hasn't been found since. Now, this is right near the Canadian border. Pretty close to the Canadian border. The family has a history of bouncing around different states. I'm glad I see a lot of people in the chat because that's good. We want to keep awareness to this case for sure. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get this flyer out. And I'm going to share the flyer and the details of the flyer. Remember this face. There's a few pictures of her. There's a few pictures of her. But the math ain't mathing on this. The stories are not lining up on this as far as the parents' version of what's going on. But I don't know the parents from a can of beans. I see that they're on Facebook. The mother of Stefani, her name is Lisa. That's her name. Lisa. Is that her name? Yes, Lisa Marie. And her dad, Christopher, both have Facebook presence. Lisa has been posting things, but not Christopher. And it's unclear who actually called to report her missing. We're going to try to find out. Jen Finn said September 23rd and reported September 24th. And now that's another thing too. Thank you for that comment, Jen Finn, because I've seen also reports that September 23rd and 24th. I've seen both those numbers floating around. A lot of times when these missing cases, sometimes the date is off, or some flyer will say one thing and another flyer will say another. Well, we'll just say because the FBI put out on their own web page that it was the 24th. The 24th. Magnolia informed me that the mother is not just Lisa, but she's Lisa Marie. Could make a difference. So there is a flyer, folks, and I do want to share this flyer. We got to bring public awareness to this situation here. So there is a flyer. And I'm going to be using the flyer from A Voice for the Voiceless. Have you seen Stefani? Have you seen Stefani? There's multiple photos of her. New Sweden Maine. Now, I had to look on my map because I've never heard of New Sweden Maine. Stefanie Damron of New Sweden Maine was reported missing on September 24, 2024. She was last seen walking into the woods near her home, wearing, according to the family, blue jeans, a long sleeve blue shirt, and a black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. FBI's Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Car Team is assisting. Despite extensive investigative efforts, including a neighborhood canvass and video search, along with an expansive grid search, Stefani remains missing. The FBI is now offering up to a $15,000 reward for information leading to the safe return of Stefani and or the arrest and prosecution of anyone involved in her disappearance. Anyone with info should immediately call the Maine State Police, 1-800-824-2261, or 207-532-5400, or you may contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Now, they're saying that she was 14. She's 14. She was 13 at the time of her disappearance, 5 feet, 130 pounds, green eyes, brown hair. Are the parents involved here? Are the parents involved with her disappearance? Because reading and hearing a little things about her dad, who is not cooperating, by the way, with any type of searches, and reading about the mom, Lisa Marie, has my antenna going up big time. I'm getting Don and Candace Wells vibes here big time. Why aren't the parents out there searching for their little girl? The mother's posting things on Facebook about her disappearance. The dad is not. Who are these people? It's also being reported, I'm going to play the press conference, that the CPS is involved, even with this case now, because they have children, other children, which is scary. Reminds me of Don and Candace Wells. Remember the boys? Remember Summer just vanished? Ben Hill Road in the rural area. Now, Summer's significantly younger than Stefani, but we're talking about a 14, then 13-year-old girl that vanishes in the middle of nowhere, living in the literally like the boondocks, the woods. Now, I don't know who made the call. That's some information we do not know. Lack of information only leads to speculation. But I'd like to know more about the parents. So we have a press conference, and then I'm going to share some reports here. I'm going to show you some maps of the area. The press conference was out, I believe, yesterday or the day before. It was out within the last 48 hours. New press conference. It's not long, but it is the FBI and the Maine State Police speaking jointly about her disappearance. Now let's listen, see what they have to say. Here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Scott Goslin. I'm a major with the Maine State Police. Maine State Police called this press conference in conjunction with the Federal Bureau of Investigation to help bring attention to the disappearance of 14-year-old Stefanie Damron. Stefanie was last seen on September 23rd, leaving her home in New Sweden on foot and walking into the woods behind her home. Stefanie's family is very concerned for her safety, as are we. And to our knowledge, Stefanie does not have current access to electronic devices and has limited access to social media. We are looking for help from the public to maintain a vigilance for Stefani and to report any tips or leads that might be helpful to our investigation. Stefani is a white female, approximately 5 feet tall, 130 pounds, with shoulder-length brown hair, green eyes, as last reported wearing blue jeans, long-sleeve blue shirt with black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. A photograph of Stefani is available for publication, and you can see a picture here. Since her disappearance, the Major Crimes Unit detectives in our Northern Field Division, along with the Boston Division of the FBI, have spent hundreds of hours investigating her disappearance, conducting countless interviews, and following up on leads. The Maine Warden Service have canvassed the woods searching for Stefani, but at this time, there's been no credible information or sightings of Stefani. The Maine State Police Major Crimes Unit North is collaborating with the Federal Bureau of Investigation with this missing person investigation. Anyone with information concerning Stefani's whereabouts is urged to contact the Maine State Police at 1-800-924-2261 or 207-532-5400. And you may contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. At this time, I'd like to introduce Special Agent in Charge, Kim Milka from the FBI, who will be making an announcement regarding a reward related to this case.
Reward, $15K.
Thank you, Major. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming and for helping us keep the public informed about our efforts to locate Stefani. I'm Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Kimberly Milka with the FBI. Our hearts are with the family and friends of 14-year-old Stefanie Damron, who are patiently waiting for answers about her disappearance and are hoping for her safe return home. On September 27th, 2024, the FBI joined forces with our law enforcement partners to assist in the search. Today, we are renewing our call for the public's assistance, and we are here to announce that the FBI is offering a significant reward of up to $15,000 for information leading to her safe return or the arrest and prosecution of anyone involved in her disappearance. The FBI hopes this reward will incentivize anyone with information about Stefani's whereabouts to come forward. Any detail, no matter how small, could be helpful. Stefani's family desperately wants to know where she is, and we are fully committed to helping our law enforcement partners exhaust every investigative resource to find her and bring her home. Immediately after she was reported missing, the FBI brought in our Child Abduction Rapid Deployment, or CARD team. The CARD team is a group of highly trained and experienced subject matter experts on cases involving missing children. Investigators have conducted dozens of interviews and followed up on leads in Maine, across the country, and even Canada. Despite extensive investigative efforts, including a neighborhood canvass and video search, along with an expansive grid search utilizing canines from Maine Warden Service and Maine State Police, Stefani is still missing. We will continue to assist Maine State Police with on-the-ground investigative, technical, and analytical support. We know many of you want to help, which is why we are asking the public to review Stefani's missing person poster and share it on social media. Rest assured, we are working to find out what happened to Stefani and reunite her with her family.
Questions?
So we'd also like to take just a moment and thank the members of the public and the media for their continued attention to this case. Your efforts in keeping Stefani's disappearance in the forefront of the community are invaluable, and we do appreciate your support as we remain focused on bringing her home safely. As you know, there are some investigative details and strategies that are unable to be shared at this time, but we will do our best to answer a few questions if you have them.
Did she have a cell phone and leave it behind, or did she not have one at all? If she did leave it behind, what does that tell you about this investigation?
There were no devices taken with her at this time, and she did not have a cell phone.
Has she run away before, and what is your hope that maybe that she's run away again this time, did somebody say?
So this behavior has not been uncommon for Stefani, which is why I think the family waited a little bit of time, gave her a little bit of time before calling the police immediately. But in this case, for obvious reasons, since she hasn't turned up, we slowly ratcheted up all the investigative resources that are present, in that area today for this reason.
We've got some information about that there may be some concerns inside the household, no running water and things like that. There's other children in the household. Is DHHS been involved in it at all?
Yes, thank you for that question. Of course, yeah. So in any of these cases, whenever we have a minor that's involved, that goes missing, or there could be an issue in the home, yeah, DHHS is always notified in those circumstances, and certainly in this case they were.
One of the flyers I saw said ties to West Virginia, Texas, and New Hampshire. Is that accurate? And if so, are those friends or other family members?
Yeah, do you want to speak to those?
So the tips that have come in for out of the area, so there's some for Canada and other states, they're tips from the public that maybe she had a social media friend at the time or acquaintance. So we just try to follow up on any information for those outside the state.
Do you have any reason to believe that there was foul play? Because you said the card unit was involved, and then, or maybe that she's with somebody, or was there someone she might have been meeting?
So at this point, everything is still on the table for us. From her simply being missing to run away to the worst situation, because we don't have any concrete leads or tips that have led us basically in one direction or the other. So we don't want to leave anything on the table and not take something serious. So, but at this point, there's nothing that leads us in one specific direction.
Was it verified that she went into the woods? I mean, did the dogs, or was there any sort of...
Good question.
Other than the information that that's where she was headed is the woods, and that is
Information.
also past behavior as well.
So you haven't uncovered any evidence about her possible whereabouts?
We have.
I know you guys waited a little bit to do that ground search, to do that extensive ground search, with members of the community. Do you guys think maybe you waited too late to do that in order for the dogs to get sent, or what's the thought process on that?
So the ground search with the Warden Service was only 2 days after the fact. Typically in a missing person investigation, you start with the investigative leads, and then you call in the resources that you need. So it's a matter of following up. So no, I don't believe it's too late. And the wardens they'll do a grid search as well as, so it's more than just dogs, it's also humans as well.
What about anything that has led to trafficking, sex trafficking? I mean, we're talking the northern part of Maine, which people think it doesn't happen there, but in your experience, has there been anything that could be connected to this?
Again, all possibilities of what happens to Stefani are still on the table. We don't have any specific information that that's what's happened, but we are trying to look into any tips that would lead us in that direction if we receive them.
And because it's so far north, I know you said you were searching Canada as well. If she was in Canada, how would that process move forward, looking for her?
We would partner with the RCMP or the FBI also has resources that we can partner with other law enforcement to follow up on any information.
And the FBI doesn't typically get involved with, say, a typical run-and-quite case. So people might be asking, why are you here? Is it because the family is concerned, because it's been 2 months?
Well, I think in any missing persons case, especially so close to the border like this, you're going to want to involve the FBI, especially in any missing persons case where we haven't taken anything off the table, nothing has been ruled out or eliminated. Crossing state lines is certainly in one of those possibilities. And of course, that's outside our jurisdiction, so that's where we would really look for help from the FBI.
Are there concerns she could still be in the woods, but in more danger with the falling temperatures and the snow this week?
Of course, there's always that concern. I think our hope at the beginning of hunting season is that a hunter might come across something that would lead us in one direction or the other. That has not happened. There is still a little bit of hunting time left up in that area, so I would highly encourage those hunters that are up there to be extra vigilant.
Although this was common behavior with Stefani, was there anything that maybe the family indicated was different about maybe conversations or anything, moments leading up to her leaving?
Yeah, we're really not going to get into those investigative details about what was happening in her life in those that day or two prior to, but at this point, again, everything is still on the table.
Can you tell me if DHHS intervened at all, or anything that they may have done, and the children still in the home because the children?
No, I'm sorry, I can't speak to what DHHS is doing or they're involved in.
Well, you said she had a history of running away. I mean, how many times has she tried to run away?
I can't speak to that but for saying it was not uncommon. This was not uncommon behavior for Stefani.
Was there a history of maybe mental health concerns or anything along those lines?
I don't believe there was at this point. I don't believe that there was any history of mental health concerns whatsoever. But again, certainly, we proceed with all of these cases as if, anybody is under mental duress or anything like that. So if there was an issue, we certainly, wouldn't do anything differently at this point.
Okay. Did she have a
We'll
passport?
let one more question.
Did she have a passport?
I don't know. I guess you can speak to that. I don't believe she did. No.
And did she leave a note at all?
No.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
very much.
All right. $15,000 reward out for Stefani. Have you seen Stefani? A lot of red flags that I take out of this. What is your take? Stefani. They said the 23rd. I guess she was reported missing on the 24th. That's the way I take it here. New Sweden, Maine, where the family lived. I've actually got a map here of the area of where they live. I'm actually going to get it here for you shortly. The thing about it is, folks, well, one, locals were out there and they're claiming that the family is not searching for her. Now, there could be a reason for that her parents aren't searching for her. There could be a reason why the parents don't want to go out there. Maybe the FBI or law enforcement told them not to search. But you would think if your child went missing, you would be out there searching. Got it here on the map. Now, this is literally no man's land. This is literally no man's land where she vanished. Here's a dot. Let me expand it out. Here you go. Northern Maine. Northern Maine. She literally vanished in Northern Maine. This is for all the viewers that watch JLR Investigates from around the world. We are talking literally at the top of Maine. New Sweden. But it's out there very remote. Look how remote it is out there where she vanished. And not only that, this is the area. Look at this. This is where her family's claiming she just walked into the woods. Are you kidding me? Does a 14-year-old child just walk in the woods like that and then not be seen? Literally, now this could be their home. I don't know. I put in the address and, well, no, the home's up there a little bit. Maybe. But this is what we're dealing with here. I'm getting Don and Candace Wells vibes here. I'm getting the Wells vibes. You know, Ben Hill Road. Out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know, folks. Doesn't sit right with me. Where the family's claiming she just walked out into the woods and hasn't been seen since. Now, you know, things could probably go on inside the household here that knowing that there's no one around, no one's even going to hear or know. Right? Where's the closest neighbors? Nothing but woods. It's nothing but woods. There's a house there. It might be theirs, might not. I'm putting around here, and this is where I get when I put their address in. West Road. On West Road. Something is not adding right. Let's get Magnolia in the chat and talk a little bit, and then we're going to share some information about, the family members. The family members, the mother and father. I don't know which one reported her missing. I don't know if both ones were in the house, but you notice that one of the reporters talked about reports that the family didn't have running water inside their home. And CPS is involved because they have other kids. Hello, Magnolia.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
So, Magnolia, I said to the audience that, you brought this to my attention a few weeks back. And
yeah, it's been reported for a while that she went missing, but there really weren't any updates or any new information till yesterday when they did this press conference and announced the new reward. So, the story was basically that she, her mom, I guess, had said that she was at home with her sister, and I guess they had some kind of argument, and she claims that Stefani went into the woods after having an argument with her sister. But the mom is saying that she wasn't home when it happened.
Who was there?
I think she's just saying that it was the sister. So, but the parents now, they have a history of issues with CPS. And one of the reasons that they moved to Maine in the first place is because they had CPS problems down in Texas.
They were living in Texas. Father right here, his name is Christopher.
Yeah, they were living in a town called Rusk, Texas.
Mother Lisa Marie, that's the mother.
Yeah, and I don't know when this incident was. You might have it in the arrest records, but the parents were actually arrested down in Texas one time because they were drunk inside a McDonald's, and the two kids were found outside in the car. And so CPS got involved, and the mother, Lisa Marie, was charged with abandoning a child. But then she later pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of deadly conduct and got a deferred sentence. And then after that, they decided to move away. And her dad, actually, Christopher, made a post in 2019 saying that they were heading to Maine to get away from all the bad memories. But yeah, and Lisa Marie had said that Stefani got in an argument with her sister while the parents were away, and she walked off into the woods. So that's the story. But yeah, like the locals there have said that they really haven't participated in the search.
Now that's a red flag across the board, right? To me,
yeah.
I mean, you have your child goes missing in the woods and you don't go out there to help. Plus the delay, apparently was a delay in reporting her missing. As you heard from the law enforcement at the press conference, they said, the family just wanted to look for her first before they called to report her missing. How long was that delay for?
They reported her the next day on the 24th.
So she really vanished the 23rd, report on the 24th of September.
Yeah. Yep. And then
your child goes missing in the woods and you don't report it to law enforcement for over a day?
Yeah.
Your 13-year-old child, your 13-year-old daughter. A 13-year-old. So their 13-year-old daughter goes missing on the 23rd, and they goes out into the woods after an argument, and the family doesn't report this child missing to the next day?
Yeah, they said that, I guess the mom had said the kids are very familiar with their surroundings, and they didn't think anything about it initially when she didn't come back right away. So I guess, yeah, they waited until the next day to report her missing.
Yikes. The Daily Mail has other photos of her they're posting. There's not many photos of her that we can get up. And recently they were saying they were just recently got some new photos of her to share, but there's really not much photos of her. out there.
Yeah,
it's just
the
a
picture,
few.
there's a couple of pictures that were, I think, just released today or yesterday with this new update. There were a couple new pictures that they released. But the main one we've had in the most of the reports has been the one where she's got the flower.
So there's a Facebook page dedicated to her, and it's called Stefanie Damron Letters to Stefani, and it's set up. And I saw this, and they put this post out yesterday, and they said just announced $15,000 reward. They put this out on November 30th, so a few days ago. Just announced $15,000 reward. Today's marks 67 days since Stefanie Damron disappeared. And they quoted the disappeared. Notice that. The theories put forth surrounding her disappearance and the time leading up to it have been murky and convoluted. There's one thing of which we are all certain. There is at least one person who knows what happened to Stefani. With the little question mark there. There's at least one person that knows what happened to Stefani. What does that mean? Who will be the first to provide law enforcement with the tip needed to break open this case and to find out what actually happened to Stefani? There's an old military saying, loose lips sink ships. So we are wondering, can you feel the water rising? Please share far and wide. If you are in a private group and it won't let you share, just click on the original post so you can share it directly. So, this is a site dedicated to Stefani, and they post a lot of things. But to me, I can kind of read between the lines here.
Yeah.
It's someone close to Stefani that knows something of what really happened to her. Now, where are the other?
Yeah. Show the picture again of the dad.
Yeah, I'll go to his
You have the
Facebook
pictures
page.
of the dad?
I got a picture of the dad. Well, I can go to his whole Facebook page. He posts nothing about, nothing I've seen recently. So this is him. Let me get his Facebook page out there. His name is Christopher Dale Michael Damron. And, while his daughter's missing, right? And he got other kids on there, so, but I'm just saying, I'm really concerned about everyone involved. But while his daughter's missing, this is his Facebook, he's posting memes and videos of comedy skits. November 25th, 7:30 a.m. He's not posting anything that I see recently about his daughter. What's this? This is the father. What's this? What's this? Where's stuff dedicated? Where's stuff dedicated to his daughter?
Well, it's weird because it seems like on November 25th,
he's posting a lot of stuff on the 25th. What happened on the?
I don't know. It's weird. It's like a lot of these are posted 6:18 a.m., 6:16 a.m. It's like he went on a posting spree.
Dude, his daughter's
25th.
missing, and he's posting this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like one post after another. He's just
The Joker.
I can't even count how many there's so many on the same day, super early I'm still scrolling and I'm back to 5:52 a.m. He just completely went on this posting spree of all these random, it's like these random videos. Some of them are
Look.
Memes, some of them are videos.
So this,
Yeah.
I scroll all the way down. This from the time he went on this whole crazy posting rampage on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of November. This was the last post beyond that, July 29th. So nothing about his daughter being missing. Nothing. Why? Who are these people? Who are these people? Literally, who are the parents? Why isn't he posting anything about his daughter being missing?
You have some of his criminal charges too.
I could not find much on him, to be honest.
Oh.
Just like with her, it's a bunch of traffic stuff. Both of them, a bunch of traffic stuff in the state of Texas. But as far as Texas, is hard to get that information. Like the Daily Mail is reporting about the incident at the McDonald's that they had.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't find anything in the, just a preliminary search, find anything like about those type of things that they've done in Texas.
Yeah, well, the reason I was asking that is because I actually came across a news article from 8 News. Now, this was out of Las Vegas, though, but there's a Christopher Damron who was arrested in Las Vegas in 2020. And I'm trying to figure out, I'll send it to you so you could see if you think it's him.
So I was
if it's the same guy or not. But that's why I was asking, because I wasn't sure, like, what about his background?
So I have a timeline. Magnolia. This was just sent to me through Facebook from a Facebook friend that is watching the channel. Appreciate that. And it's a timeline of what happened here. And here's the timeline that was sent to me. So what they're saying is September 23rd, Stefani goes missing. New Sweden, Maine. Her parents report that she had a fight with her sister and walked into the woods to cool off. September 23rd. Now we have September 24th. Family reports her missing. Family reports Stefani missing after not returning home. She was last seen wearing blue jeans, a long sleeve blue shirt, and black Harley-Davidson hiking boots. September 26th. The first statements are released with Stefani's information. Then we fast forward to October 26th. So a month later, public ground search. The first organized group search for Stefani is organized by locals and volunteers. So a month later, what is this? Brooklyn Squad interview streamed online with Stefani's great aunt, Jerry. So we'll have to look into that. So one of her great aunts speaks. November 2nd, On Patrol interview featuring Stefani's father. November 2nd. November 14th, Locating the Lost podcast, streamed live with a call-in from Uncle Andrew. November 25th, another live stream about the case. December 2nd, the reward was offered. And then December 21st, an upcoming candlelight vigil at New Sweden Baptist Church. So, Magnolia.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts?
How old is the dad?
The dad?
Did we get an age on him yet?
The way I read it, he was significantly older than the mother. I don't know what time frame offhand.
He does look a lot older.
I believe he has 10 years on her, the mother, possibly. Something.
And they've moved around a lot.
Yes. So
it seems like they've relocated, and it seems like that they've moved certain times because of issues that they've had with the law, including the stuff down in Texas with CPS. I guess they thought they were going to run away from their problems.
So the addresses
like that worked out.
So the family of Stefani have lived in Corrigan, Texas. They live in New Sweden, Maine.
Mm-hmm.
They have ties to the mother. The mother, I believe, is a registered nurse. At one point, she was a registered nurse. Oceana, West Virginia. Is that called Oceana? Oceana, West Virginia, they lived at. Twilight, West Virginia. Palestine, Texas. Matheny, West Virginia. Fitzgerald, Georgia. Lufkin, Texas. So we have mostly Texas, West Virginia, and Maine.
Yeah.
About the father. So, and the mother. So, are we talking about a situation here where Stefani was trafficked by her own family out of the state, or do you think something really went wrong and bad inside a household, and you have to get rid of the evidence, or do we just have a runaway?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm wondering too. I'm hoping that she just ran away and she's somewhere safe. But yeah, it's weird because it just doesn't seem like, and I've been kind of following this case since I first saw it reported like a little over a month ago, I guess. And it just seems like the parents are just really not involved in the search. They're not really, you don't really read much. Like when the news articles come out and they do updates, there's really not much coming from the parents. And the locals there are saying that the parents have declined to participate in the searches. So it doesn't make sense why they wouldn't search. And unless they were told not to search, which we know sometimes happens with the police, and they say, you know, oh, we don't want all these people out there tracking, messing up a potential crime scene, things. Sometimes they do say that, but at this point, it's been a little over 2 months, and I don't really see much evidence that her family is frantically searching.
Or giving any press conferences, or pleading with the public to look for their daughter.
Yeah.
The mother, though, has, like I showed you, the father's Facebook profile. The mother does post things regularly about her. And I'm going to get that. Her name is Lisa Marie Damron. And Lisa Marie has candles. She has her photo up. So the mom, not the dad, but the mom has stuff up. And she says she's from Eatonton, Georgia, married to Christopher David Michael Damron. So on her page, now this is some of her stuff here. On her page, she does have stuff for Stefani, December 1st. She's putting the reels, I guess they were on reels.
So what else though besides that?
Well, I'm looking. Flyers.
What did she posted before that? Because
October 31st.
Well, okay, there you go.
Well, I'm going back. I want to go back to see how far, when they started posting about her being missing. Because the father didn't post nothing on his Facebook about her being missing that I've seen. We're at October 17th, so there's a lot of posts here in October. A lot of posts. October 7th. She posted this October 7th. She says, I am begging if anyone knows anything, please help us bring our baby girl home safe and sound. Please, please, I am begging. October 4th. These are October 4th. So I'm going to go back to September 24th around there. September 30th. Okay, so this is September 13th. Okay, so the very first post they made about her being missing was September 30th, 6 days later.
Yeah.
After she was reported missing.
Yeah, so it looks like there were a lot of posts in October and early November, and then it sort of skipped to yesterday. So yesterday, and the reason this case is coming up again is because yesterday there was a significant development with the FBI announcing a reward. So the news is reporting on it again. But, you know, it had been since, I think the last news article I saw was around November 8th or so. And then really hadn't heard anything at all until it popped up again yesterday. So yeah, so it looks like the mom was posting quite a bit in October and then the beginning of November and then not much since. But yeah, the dad's Facebook page is very strange. What's the deal with November 25th and this complete spree that he went on with all these posts, and not a single one of them was about his daughter? I mean, he made countless posts on that day. Like, literally countless posts. You just scroll and scroll and scroll forever. And they're not, a lot of them are just random. None of them are specifically about Stefani. There were a few that he posted that were little, like, love notes to his wife in the captions, but I didn't see much else to do with this case. But, yeah, looking at the map, this is crazy how close it is to the border.
Yeah, and I just want to say that just before we got on, the U.S. Attorney's Office for Maine has tweeted this out today, just less than an hour ago, like maybe like 10 minutes before we came online. So they tweeted out 10:16 a.m., so an hour ago. Anyone with information about Steph. So this is the U.S. So it looks like this is a Fed case because this is the U.S. attorney, that they're the ones that prosecute federal crimes, is retweeting the FBI's most wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So she's now on the FBI's most wanted missing person.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. Now we got the feds involved. Like, I'm not saying, like, as far as, like, it seems like the feds have taken over this thing and are ponying up $15,000.
Yeah, well, and they mentioned in the press conference, due to the fact that it is so close to the Canadian border, that was one of the reasons to bring in the FBI. Because if you look at the map, New Brunswick, she's right on, I mean, they're basically right on the line of New Brunswick.
Well, I mean, let's see the mileage. I'll put the mileage in, but this is where they are at. This is, yeah, it's close. We'll see. Could a 14-year-old girl cross over the border or be kidnapped? But you got to look at the circumstances, Magnolia. The family's reporting she had an argument or a fight with her sister inside the house, and she left out of the house to cool off.
Yeah.
I mean, does that automatically revolve? Like, what's the chance of that happening? She goes outside and just a random person comes and kidnaps her during the course of that chain of event. To me, it's unlikely. I don't find that probable as far as someone taking her and picking her up like a stranger and then just taking her, across the border. Here's the border. Let me just get the directions to Van Buren. From the house from here to Van Buren, which is literally on the border. Let me just put Van Buren and just see the distance. I don't think it's that far, but we'll see right here. So it is Magnolia, this is 24 miles.
Yeah, it's very, very close to the border. So, and not just that direction. I mean, New Brunswick is right there, but also if you go north, it's also not too far from Edmonston.
Yeah, I'm just saying in general. I mean, they're
in that area up there. So yeah, they're right up there.
If that's
by the Canadian border.
So either way, either direction, that's 24 miles from here, Magnolia, to the border. But you also have the border here that goes down, Canada. Yeah. So I would say any 15 miles this way. So the 15 to 20 miles from the border, that's where they live. From the Canadian border.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, one thing I have to say though, I think it's kind of weird how it almost feels like the mom is blaming her sister, like putting the blame on her. When you were scrolling on the mom's Facebook page, there was one post she made where she was like one of those big posts with the huge letters, and it said Stefani got into a fight with her sister and something. So it just seems like that they're almost placing the blame on the sister as if it's her fault because they had an argument and now that's the last time that Stefani was seen, which I think is I don't really like that they're. It just feels like they're blaming her, and it feels like she will grow up to blame herself.
Well, how old is
think
this
this
sister?
all
Is
her
that
fault,
an
and
older?
I don't think that's right.
Is that an older sister or younger sister?
Well, I'm for some reason I'm thinking it's a younger sister, but I mean I could be wrong on that. I don't think that they've said the ages, but
People are saying sister is 16. People are in the chat are saying sis. There's people in this chat that apparently know a little bit about this case.
Yeah.
So they're saying 16. But let me just go back here. I mean, with the woods theory, I mean, there is a lot of woods there. They literally are surrounded by woods, mostly woods and small. I mean, there's nothing here. It is like literally as remote as can be, Magnolia.
Yeah, it's the middle of nowhere.
The middle of nowhere. I don't even, do you even have cell phone service out there? But what I'm saying is like, did she just go out in the woods then? Like, we'll just take the family's version at face value. Did she just go out in the woods and just something happened and wildlife got her in the woods? Or she tripped and fell, had a medical emergency and just died? Because the way they're saying is that they're like asking hunters to look around.
Yeah.
Or could something happen in that house and she was disposed of somewhere out there in the woods?
Yeah, I just think it's really weird that they seem to just be blaming the sister, because now it's like the sister now is going to be known as the cause of her sister disappearing, which is completely unfair. It's not the sister's fault. It's the parents' fault who aren't watching her and allowed their child to wander off and then not report her until the next day. So to sit there and say, oh, she had a fight with her sister and ran off, to me, that is just simply passing the blame to their other child, which is ridiculous and horrible behavior from a parent. I mean, that's just insane. So I have a problem with that off the top. I mean, I understand if she got in a fight with her sister and she ran off, but to characterize it as if that's why this happened is unfair, and it completely shirks all responsibility on their part. I mean, okay, so I had fights with my brother all the time. That doesn't have any bearing on the fact if I were to go missing when I'm 14 that it would be his fault. Like, that's crazy. So I think it's just deflection, trying to put the blame elsewhere. Also, not calling until the next day is ridiculous. Yeah, so the mom, you know, it almost feels like the mom legitimately thinks that she ran off, but the dad seems like he's just like, whatever. So it does make the dad look a lot more suspicious, I think, to most people.
So I'm trying to understand. It seems like they weren't at that house very long in Maine. Like, they recently went up there. How long do you know offhand? I'm trying to look up like databases to see for sure.
He had made a post. So in the news reports, they say that he made a post in 2019 on Facebook saying that the family was heading to Maine away from all the bad memories. And that was following the incident we talked about earlier where the parents were arrested for being drunk inside a McDonald's where their kids were in the car. So they were having CPS problems in Texas, and that was this reason for why they left Texas.
So
one family member
saying,
referred to it as a CPS fiasco in Texas.
Fiasco. I wonder how many CPS reports were actually filed in Texas. And is that why they escaped to get away from all that? People are saying in the chat they were living there for about 4 years. So, I mean, 19, 4 years.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so, you know, at the time she vanished, she was 13. So she went up there, about 8, 9 years old when she went up there? All right, because some people are saying in the chat, well, maybe, she got in a fight with her sister and ran off in the woods and got lost. Doesn't really know the woods out there. I mean, it's a child. It's a 13-year-old child going out in the middle of the woods. I mean, if that's the case, I don't think so, but I mean, this is the family's version.
Mm-hmm.
And, you want to believe what the family has to say?
No.
That's what I'm saying. The family claims that, she went out into the woods right by the house. Now,
No, I don't buy it. I mean, if that's what really happened, then the parents would be out there every day searching. If that's really what they thought happened, that's what they would be doing. If they really thought she ran off in the woods because of a fight with her sister, they'd be out there day and night looking for her. And the fact is, they're not. They've not participated in these searches so far.
let me go back to the mom's page and see, did she post anything about the reward? So the mom posted nothing about the reward. Interesting. So the mom has posted nothing about the reward. So the FBI came out with a press conference, because if you go on the mom's Facebook page, the last post was on the 1st. The reward was just announced. You would think if she's posting every day regularly about this case, she would have posted the update about the reward, right?
But she's not posting every day. When you scroll down through her page,
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. I mean,
the
I'm
last time she posted was the beginning of November.
Gotcha.
She posted a bunch of stuff in October and at the very beginning of November, and then there were no posts until yesterday.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. You're right, because it went from the beginning of November 3rd all the way up to December 1st, where there was a gap. But then December 1st, there's back-to-back posts.
And she reposted about it yesterday, likely because they were notified that there was an FBI reward and there would be a press conference about it. So that's probably why she popped up posting about it again yesterday. But yeah, it's weird she wouldn't have posted the reward itself. But yeah, it's, I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, these parents, you just scratch your head. It's like, if my daughter had gone missing when she was 14 years old, I would have flipped out. I mean, I would be searching nonstop, especially if I thought she ran into the woods. I would pretty much just be living in the woods until I found her. That would be my life. I would be sleeping in the woods, always in the woods, looking everywhere. And the dad, to me, just seems completely unconcerned.
Here's the dad. Here's the dad in one of his Facebook posts. I'm telling you, I get Don Wells vibes. Sorry, folks. I know there might be some people that think the Wells are innocent, but I mean, I'm getting Don Wells vibes. Don and Candace Wells vibes. Definitely.
Well, yeah. I noticed one of the posts on his November 25th spree that he went through posting. One of the posts he made was like a video about men expressing their feelings, and it said something like that men are judged either way, no matter how they act or what they say, and so strong men fight their battles in silence.
That's what he said.
That's what he posted.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, this is his own daughter. So why isn't he out there?
He's basically making an excuse for not saying anything or not being part of the search by saying essentially, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, so I'm just going to be silent. And he's acting like that's why he's not participating, because people would judge him either way. But that's just an excuse. I mean, to me, it just looks like he doesn't care. He's completely unconcerned. He's just like, whatever, look at this midget meme I found. Ha ha ha. Isn't this funny? That's what he just seems like he doesn't take it seriously. And I wonder about his background with her. And they're saying the CPS fiasco, it sounds like there was probably more to it than just the McDonald's incident.
He got a Betty Boop on his chest, and he got a bunch of skulls. I mean, this is the father. And, this case now, $15,000 reward. I wish one of the media people said, "Is the parents cooperating with the investigation?" You know, ask parents, "Do you consent?" I mean, the way he's saying it, though, the way the authorities are saying is nothing is off the table.
Right. Well, yeah, and I mean, with the FBI involved, and with the $15,000 reward, I mean, they think that someone might know something.
15. I'm trying to get some more pictures of him, out there. What in the world is this? I don't even want to show this. Is this 2023? I love my baby girl, and he's showing a picture of his own child. It doesn't look like it's Stefani giving the middle finger. I'm not even going to show it. Not even going to show it because it's highly inappropriate for a little child. He's literally sharing a video of another child there giving the middle finger.
And he's saying he's proud.
More or less, yeah. He's proud of his daughter.
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys can go. You guys can go look in your Facebook. It's public Facebook page. Probably after this live, we'll probably put it private. This will get back to him. This will get back to him. But the question I have for Mr. Christopher Dale Michael Damron, why aren't you out there looking for your little girl? Why aren't you posting anything about your little girl being missing? Where were you on the 23rd and 24th? Where were you? What do you have to say about the situation?
Well, they just said that the parents were away, allegedly, whenever she went missing. Fly on Your Wall asked if we've seen any press releases or interviews with the parents. I have not.
Well, I shared a timeline,
but I don't know that they didn't do one. I mean, there was one you showed. They went on the reels, or it was covered on that show. But I'm not sure if they actually went on there, or if they just simply covered the story.
Yeah. Other than that, we really don't know much more. This is kind of like one of our JLR Magnolia preliminary lives to at least set the tone here and try to at least do our part in putting the information out there, the lack of information.
Yeah.
People are saying that the dad gave his statement on Lisa's profile. Let's see. He did? Let's see. Let's see if we can find a statement on the profile. I don't see anything. Someone could send that to us. Anyone has any information that they want to spill the tea on the parents, you can talk to us on the record, off the record. We protect anonymity. But of course, if you have any credible information that can help find Stefani, $15,000 can go in your pocket. Contact law enforcement. Contact law enforcement. Do your part. Get that $15K. The $15K. It's holidays, folks. It's Christmas time. That $15,000 can pay your bills, pay your water, pay your electric. If you know anything about Stefani, contact authorities. Now, if you want to share some information with us about the parents or something to set the record straight, or you know the parents, or you know some stuff that's not being put out there and you just want to share with us, tips at JLR Investigates, we would love to hear from you. We want to hear, what's going on here, the family dynamics. What's going on inside that home?
And one thing that I wanted to note, so I have a little more information that was in a News Nation article. Let me get this. So just to clarify, so they moved from Maine to Texas, or from Texas to Maine in 2020. And apparently Stefani had tried to run away before, but she was found in the woods by her family. And so this happened one other time where she ran off in the woods. She was also homeschooled and had limited access to social media, according to News Nation. Let's see. And so the search efforts in the area have all been organized by local residents and volunteers and things like that. So nothing really, the family just has not been involved with the search, which is strange. But yeah, so they're saying that she did run off one time before, but she was found.
So this here, the mother said something to somebody saying that no one's allowed on their property to search. This is a post the mother allegedly made saying, I guess, Jerry Harms, well, unless you're the FBI or have a warrant, you're not allowed on my property no more. I'm not here to play your games. We are worried about finding our daughter, not y'all's drama, BS. Thank you, God bless, and have a good night. Oh, who would like to pull the knife out of our family's back? That's interesting, Magnolia.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, another thing that's also interesting to note is that the photos that they have of Stefani, they didn't even have that many pictures to share with authorities, which is another red flag. I mean, if you're a parent, your camera is filled with pictures of your kids. So it was hard for them to even get pictures to put out to the public. The most recent photo that they have is from the summer of 2024. And that's the one with the flower in her hair. So that's just another red flag to me, is that they don't really have current pictures of her. Like, the most recent was from the summer. And you know, when you need a picture for a missing person flyer, it's important as a parent to have pictures of your kids, you know? So it doesn't seem like they had much to choose from when they went to make these posters. And the two pictures released today is the one that you're holding up with the cat ears. And then there was another picture of her wearing a purple t-shirt. Those are the new pictures that the police just released with this update yesterday.
So I'm getting a lot of messages right now regards to information. For instance, I got sent the alleged statement from the father regarding this situation. So I'm going to read it. The father put out in a group called Missing and Unsolved in Maine. So the father, we're talking about Christopher, the father. Remember his name, because we're probably going to hear more about the family very, very soon as the cat gets out of the bag. I suspect that the family's names will be put out there, you know, names and a lot of things probably very, very soon. But he put a statement. So I'm going to read this statement. This is what, I guess it came through. You know, this was posted in the group. Consider this my statement, the father of Stefanie Damron. I've kept quiet and watched this dog and pony show long enough. To all the trolls making this difficult time that much more difficult, there's a special place in hell for you. I hope you don't have children, and if you do, I pray for your souls that you never have to face something like this. From the beginning, we have cooperated with all three letter agencies, CPS, FBI, and MSP. All were great in the beginning, but as this case has unfolded, everyone's true colors have shown. Oh, he's blaming them. Nobody at this point wants to look at the facts anymore, trying to turn this around on us. We weren't here. We were at job interviews. Stefani got into an argument with her sister while we were gone and walked off. We live a half mile back in the woods, and our kids are very comfortable in their surroundings, so there was nothing to raise red flags the first few hours. This is our way of life. We chose to stay out of the world that's turned into a pornographic parade. We can't live, I don't know what that means. We can't live in that world, and when we ask for help from the world that most of you call normal, this is how we are treated. Like I said before, your world is not for us. Our children are homeschooled and taught the basics. Let me keep going. And sent to Job Corps for their GEDs. CPS has been in our house, verified and confirmed everything. We had nothing to do with this. We just want our baby home. So quit all this. My wife doesn't need this. She's our baby home. She needs our baby home. So stop riding us. Start riding the Maine State Police and tell them to start doing their job with all the leads everyone is giving them and following up on them. God bless. So he's blaming the police. One of those things. They need to do their job.
I didn't hear anything in there about why he's not searching.
He's blaming the world. He's saying the world is pornographic and evil. That's why
I
he's
don't
saying
even
it.
know
He's saying he
what
wasn't
that
home
means.
at the time. He's saying he
Yeah.
wasn't home. They were at job interviews. We were at job interviews. We weren't home. We were at job interviews. So what is he saying? That both of them at the time didn't have jobs?
Right. He's saying that they're just both normal, upstanding citizens looking for work to support their family, and this is not their fault. That's what he's trying to say.
He said CPS, FBI, and MSP all were great in the beginning, but as this case has unfolded, everyone's true colors have been shown. Oh, that sounds Don Wells type talk. Oh, we fully cooperated at the beginning, but then they turned on me. This Don Wells, they turned on me, and they're involved, and blah, blah, blah. It's them. It's the law enforcement, not me. That's Don Wells talk.
Right, and he was at work too, wasn't he?
Supposedly at work, yeah. When Summer Wells went missing.
Yep.
Where the detective, John Pruitt, a year later said the parents
He's
are
just
not
a
cooperating.
hardworking man. Yep, he's just a hardworking man trying to support his family, and everyone turned on him. My goodness.
This is the same parents that, according to residents up there in New Sweden, have not participated in any searches. The mom has put out a statement that I just shared or before. It's saying if anyone comes around their property looking for, sounds like Don and Candace Wells, if anyone comes around their property looking for Stefani, they're going to call the police, more or less. Only the FBI can come there, but no one else can come around looking for their child. Oh, so many red flags. So many red flags. Dad doesn't post nothing on social media at all in reference to his daughter. He puts a statement through his wife. They were both at job interviews. I mean, what is going on here, people?
Yeah.
Or they could be totally innocent. I mean, some people might say they're totally innocent. They just want their daughter home. They're not involved.
And I just wonder, was that ever verified that they were actually both at job interviews? Because that would just be a very, very wild coincidence that they both happen to have job interviews at the same exact time that their daughter goes missing.
That they don't
was
report.
that verified?
That they don't report missing for a day later.
And how are you coordinating job interviews with the two of you at the same time? Nobody thought they needed to be home with the kids? Yeah, it doesn't add up. So I just wonder if they actually verified that story where he said they were at job interviews. And, well, before I heard the thing about the job interview, it was just stated that they were away, quote, away at the time. But yeah, it does seem odd that they would both happen to be gone at the same time that she goes missing. They're saying she disappeared into the woods before, but she was found. This time she has not been found. It's been over 2 months. Family's not helping. They're not searching. They don't want anyone on their property. They're angry at the authorities. So...
And now the reward is out. Now the reward's out. So I wonder how they feel about, money. Money talks. Money talks. Yeah. If they have some skeletons or secrets that they're holding in, I'm sure they probably shared something with somebody. If these people are involved. I'm not saying the parents are involved, and I don't think the police have said that in that press conference either. It's to be fair here. I didn't really see any throwing shade at the parents in that press conference. Did you?
I didn't really hear them mention the parents in that press conference, actually.
Yeah, so, again, the parents could be totally innocent, but I'm seeing red flags.
Well, I think the fact that they didn't mention the family, because I could have missed it, but when he went through the press conference and they kind of were talking about the case, it seemed like he was just talking about the various search efforts that they've done, that they continue to do, the different agencies that are involved. There's a reward now. I don't remember hearing him mention the parents at all. So that's why I'm wondering, are they suspicious of the parents? And so that's why they're not really saying much about the family.
Was that the first press conference authorities have given out? Because I was trying to look for some sort of...
Yeah, I don't know if they've done one before that or not. It's the first one I've seen.
That's the first one I've seen too. Because again, you brought this to my awareness, but there was a really lack of information. But now, now you know, now that law enforcement, and it could be good too that law enforcement put out that reward, because hopefully some media outlets start jumping on this and get it circulating, getting it out there. It seems like that's what law enforcement wants at this point. They want the internet. They want the internet and the media to do their thing.
Yep.
You know, get it out there and do your thing, internet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully she ran away and she's somewhere safe. But it doesn't sound like they had the best home life situation. No.
Where are the other?
And that's kind of been the case for some time.
Where are the other kids at?
Yeah, I wonder about the sister. People said she's 16.
The photos, they have other children that look younger. How many children are in that house? Are they still there? Because you remember, like with Don and Candace Wells, when Summer went missing, within about a month or so after Summer went missing, CPS or DCF, whatever you want to call them, every state has their way of calling it. We'll just say CPS went to the Wells home and scooped up their 3 boys and took them away.
Yeah.
Now, in this particular case, you heard a reporter talking about no running water in that house. Here, no running water. So you think the children should be taken out of the house in the meantime, particularly now that they're offering a $10,000, $15,000 reward? I say, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it's just the 2 kids. I'm not sure though. Let me see. I'm gonna look at her. See, if you look at the mom's Facebook page, like her pictures on her page, I mean, the pictures there's a lot of dog photos, and then I do see a couple pictures with kids, but they look very, like, way younger than they are now.
Yeah. So
these are not recent pictures. So but I do think it's just the 2 girls, as far as I can tell. Let's see. Hold on.
So maybe the parents, hey, if the parents are out there and they want to set the record straight, reach out to us, tips@JLR Investigates. We'd love to hear your side of the story. You can talk, set the record straight. Love to hear from the parents.
Yeah, I wonder if there are more kids involved, because if that's the case, if there's not running water in that house, that's a pretty big problem.
Big problem.
And they probably shouldn't be there.
No,
and
not in the cold. I mean, look how cold it is up there right now.
Yeah,
they just had a rack of snow.
Kids, yeah, and you have kids wandering off in the woods, can't find them. It doesn't sound like, if they have other kids there at the house, they probably don't need to be there.
So it's the temperatures, 13 degrees low, 27 for a high. Snow. Literally for the next week, it really doesn't go above 32 degrees. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know one of these reporters thinking that she's still out in the woods. That's ridiculous. Alive. She's not out in the woods alive.
Not at this stage, no. Because it's been cold up there for a while.
In September, you're probably in the 70s, maybe 60s, 70s, and it starts, in October, things change up there very quickly.
Yeah, it would have been really cold probably all last month. Someone said it's 18 degrees there now. So, yeah. She's definitely not living in the woods, that's for sure. So, yeah, they're asking for people, if you're a hunter and you're out there, just to keep your eyes out. She had on a blue shirt and blue jeans, they said. I don't think that she had anything with her. It looked like on the poster they just said last seen wearing a blue shirt and blue jeans, right?
But emphasize that law enforcement, the way they said it, my take was what the family has told them.
Mhm.
So they're going off information of what the family told them. Law enforcement.
Yeah, here it is.
So there's
Blue jeans.
there's you know, you could tell law enforcement anything.
Yeah, blue jeans, blue shirt, long sleeve blue shirt, and black Harley Davidson boots, hiking boots.
All right. So we'll keep public awareness. We'll keep we'll see what happens here. We'll see if any new developments happen, new searches. At least we made a somewhat difference this morning. All right.
Yep.
So that's it, folks. JLR investigates, Magnolia investigates. Praying that she's found. Stefanie Damron, like Cameron, Damron. Let us know what you think in the comments. And if anything else develops, we will share with all of you. All right. Thanks, Magnolia.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. We cover true crime 24/7, 365 on this channel. If you're from the Maine area, hit that sub button up. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you, mods. Thank you, subs, members. Me and Magnolia are our own mods. We don't even have mods. We run the show here. Thank you everyone for the support, and anything else that comes out of this, you will hear it here on JLR Investigates. Have a good morning, everyone. We'll talk soon. Stay safe out there, my friends.